Okay.
Hello and welcome to another York Sports Network stream. We apologize for the delay. You're joining us in with 2 minutes and 22 seconds left to go in the second quarter. York leads Lake Zurich 26-21. I'm Connor Choi. With me is Ryan Byrd, and both teams are entering a timeout, and this is a great matchup between some two solid teams, the number 13th ranked York Dukes and the number 26th ranked Lake Zurich Bears. And Ryan, what are we looking for throughout the rest of this game if York wants to come home and secure a victory?
I think they just need to do what they've been doing. Really, they were off to a very tough start. They were down a little bit at the beginning, but these last 2 minutes, they've really found their footing with A.J. Levine and Ryan Pecos running some great guard defense that have really generated a lot of turnovers that have turned into points on the other end. And I think they just need to continue that if they want to keep this 5-point lead going into the rest of this game.
Absolutely. Both teams coming out of the huddle. York with a great win over Hinsdale Central last night, trailing the entire game up until 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And they were able to come back and win 56-50 in a crucial conference game.
.222 left, Lake Zurich inbounds the ball.
Bringing it up for the Bears. Kick it over to Popovich. Now this ball is loose and a foul called.
That's the second straight possession from Lake Zurich that we've seen the ball go off a Duke head. Last possession was Brendan Mullis who got drilled with a pass. It was behind the back.
Checking in for the Dukes is number 21, Eddie Sika. Sika, the first junior off the bench. They get the ball and now kick it to the corner. Dribble drive, tries to get it on the back cut. Instead, it's stolen away by Braden Richardson, and A.J. Levine's going to slow things down and bring it up. Levine, who had 30 points last night in the victory against Hinsdale Central, just to carry over his solid performance.
And that's two straight great games from Levine. Two games ago against Glenbard North, didn't really light up the points, but 9 steals on the defensive end really gave the Dukes that win, which is very important. And then obviously the 30 points yesterday. So looking to continue a great run right now that he's been going on.
Swinging to the corner for a corner three. This one's gonna go. Number 10, Keon Haynes knocks it down, makes it a 2-point game. Waltz has it, pulls up, but there's a foul called before he can get the shot off. It's going to be on the floor.
Thanks, sir. Foul number 14, Adrian Reed, his first, his third. New York basketball out of bounds.
Waltz has it, now pulls up. This one's going to be short. Sika going for the rebound, but this one's going to bounce out of bounds before he can get a hand on it.
That one last touch by Zurich, though, with the foot out of bounds. Oh, Dukes will retain possession. 1 minute left on the game clock.
Getting an inbound, and then this one's loose. Picked up by Mullis, over to Levine. Pumping, now he drives to the rim. Nice finish from A.J. Levine.
Yeah, we've seen him get very crafty in the paint this game. 2 very nice layups so far.
Levine up to 9 points. Now they swing it into the corner for another corner three that's gonna go. It's a 1-point game. Number 14, Adrian Reep knocks it down. .24 seconds left in the first half. Dukes with a 1-point lead. Now Mullis drives and he loses the ball. Kicks out loose ball foul. This one's going to be on York.
Your foul number 12, Brennen, his first, team's fourth. Back in the game for the 41.
Only 20 seconds left on the clock. We're going to have to get a quick shot up, but also going to try to prevent York from getting their own chance.
York starting with this full court press defense, but that leaves the lane open. They go up. Richardson gets hard, and they're going to call a foul on Braden Richardson. So that's York's 5th foul. That'll put Lake Zurich in the double bonus with just under 12 seconds left to go. First free throw from Anton Strelnikov is good. Connor Fitzgerald checking in. Checking out is Eddie Sika. Two for two at the line, and now Lake Zurich has a 1-point lead with 10 seconds left to go. Levine brings it up. 7 seconds left. Levine tries to get it to Richardson. Loose ball. Lake Zurich's not going to be able to pick it up, and there's 0.2 seconds left on the clock.
And I believe the NBA rule is if it's under 0.4 seconds, you are not allowed to get a shot up, and they send it to quarter. But that's not the case in high school. See, somebody can get a shot up, and they're just going to hold it.
Yeah, they get it into Fitzgerald, who just holds it and lets the half run out. As Lake Zurich gets their lead back, they lead 29-28. And Ryan, what is York going to have to do in this second half?
Definitely stop that three-point shooting from Lake Zurich. Seeing them hit plenty of threes, really got them in the game. Keon Hayes hit 2 big corner threes that got them back into the game after a 5-point deficit. But I think just limiting the outside shooting really will give York a hefty advantage here, because York can score from anywhere on the paint. Looks like Lake Zurich has struggled inside the arc, but outside the arc they just hit their shots. That's what gave them the lead going into this half.
Absolutely. 29-28, your score live from the Dick Campbell Gym. Dukes trail by 1. Second half action coming in 9 minutes and 40 seconds. You're watching York Sports Network. We welcome you back with 1:47 left to go in this halftime intermission, and the second half is starting soon. I'm Connor Choi, and with me we have a new announcer, Christian McQuade. And Christian, it was a good first half in the beginning for the Dukes. Overall, it was a good first half, but then they lost the lead towards the end of that second quarter, and it really feels like Lake Zurich kind of found their footing late, and they were shooting the three ball extremely well in their last couple of offensive possessions. So what do you think York is going to have to do if they want to regain that lead and put this game away?
Yeah, Connor, I feel like one of the things has got to be, can't just be the A.J. Levine show. Like last night, York barely snuck past it. Very okay Hinsdale Central team just because of A.J. Levine. And that wasn't a very acceptable performance, Connor. I mean, it can't just be him. You got to get everyone else involved, you know, get guys like Waltz taking more shots. And Brandon Richardson's especially one of those guys you want shooting the ball, because this year we're yet to see him have one of those big breakout games. And, you know, just get everyone involved, continue to play that defense, and you got to keep Lake Zurich away from the three-point line and force them to drive to the paint, because we know that's where the Dukes defense is at their best, when they're trapping the middle and closing out on the perimeter.
Well said, Christian. 26 seconds left for the start of the second half. These are two very good basketball teams facing off in a non-conference matchup here Saturday afternoon. Mullis going to inbound to Ryan Pecos. Pecos over to Levine, now to Mullis. Richardson with it at the top of the key, and they're going to call a hold on the floor. It's going to be Kane Kretschmar for the hold, so York will inbound it from underneath the basket. Waltz gets it into Richardson. Now over to Pecos, now to Levine. Levine, dribble drive, now back to Pecos, top of the key. Slow it down, Levine, directing traffic, now drives, picks it up, finds Mullis cutting, but he can't hold on, and it's gonna go out of bounds.
Wow, that was a great find from Levine. I mean, Mullis, you gotta hang on to that and finish there, but they'll make up for it, but that's a great find from Levine, Connor, and that's what I was talking about, getting those other guys involved. So they're obviously trying to do that. They just got to capitalize off that open pass next time.
Absolutely. Just unfortunate it didn't go their way, but it's good to know, looking on the right side, it's good to know that you can get those guys open. Here's a corner three that's not going to go, rebounded by Levine. Kretschmar couldn't connect, and now a long pass to Kyle Waltz. Waltz over to Richardson. Now back to Levine. Levine, dribble drive, now dumps it down low. Pecos can't connect, can't finish, and that one's not going to be any good. So York's going to start off this half with 2 missed baskets.
Yeah, another great find from Levine there, Connor, just trying to get everyone involved, but Pecos has to finish that. And now I can see why I feel that Levine tries to do so much on offense. It's maybe because he just can't trust his teammates finishing at all times.
He gets Mullis, and that's a great transition layup by Brendan Mullis. He makes up for the drop pass just 2 possessions earlier. And now York retakes the lead. Kretschmar now swings it over. Now into the corner. Wide open 3 for Ryan Carroll, who knocks it down. 32-30 now the score.
Yeah, Connor, there's that 3-point shooting from Zurich that you said they started to heat up on in the end of the first half, and they're just continuing to carry that over with 2 straight wide open 3-point attempts. Finally, they get one to fall, but wouldn't be surprised if they keep going back to that.
It's been their bread and butter so far. Mullis getting pushed out of the baseline. Now swings it over to Waltz for an open 3. Kyle Waltz knocks it down.
Bang, bang, bang. Kyle Waltz. Way to step in and knock it down with confidence.
Waltz easily been their best perimeter shooter so far this year. Now, nice finish at the basket from Anton Strelnikov.
Like a tennis match going back and forth here. Both teams consecutively scoring baskets, and it's going to be a battle of stops at this point. if it continues to go this way.
Richardson over to Levine. Levine drives, has the open lane. Levine's going to get fouled on his way up. Can't get the layup to go in, but he's headed to the line for 2.
And that's Popovich's 3rd foul, so one of those key players for the Bears that needs to be careful with his foul trouble here. They're not going to sub him out yet, but definitely need to hold him accountable with the fouling because, I mean, they play an 8-man rotation, so it's not like their bench runs very deep compared to what the Dukes play, Connor.
Free throw number 2 is good. Levine goes 2 for 2 at the line, and the Dukes have their lead back. So, like you said, Christian, back and forth. And it all comes down to who's going to get the first stop. Now another wide open in the corner 3, but nicely covered by Waltz. But this, they go to the other corner, and that's wide open, but like Zurich can't get it, but there's a foul on the floor.
And I believe they're going to get that on Waltz. Yes, so that's Waltz, and that's his 2nd, so nothing to worry about there yet. But Dukes are certainly starting to recognize that they're looking for that 3-ball, Connor, as they're starting to chase those perimeter guys around, and there's a nice layup.
Yeah, and Strelnikov is really giving Braden Richardson a hard time. He's been able to finish efficiently with both hands, and if you can do that at the high school level as a big man, you'll be extremely effective.
Absolutely, Connor.
Levine tries spinning around. Now he's going to drive.
Whoa.
He's going to get, no, they call no contact. No foul, but it goes out of bounds. It's the last touched by the Bears.
And Connor, going back to that deep rotation I was talking about the Dukes play, especially coming off a long game last night against Hinsdale Central where the starters played a lot of minutes. It was very hard fought. You're definitely going to have to play and count on a lot of those guys on your bench.
Yeah, they've already subbed in 5 guys off the bench. This is a bigger rotation than we saw last year, Christian, and I think that's been a big reason on the improvement. Levine tries getting it to Waltz. He catches off the deflection, hits Waltz. Waltz's 3-pointer is short, and now Lake Zurich is going to push it. Now they go down low, and
great
another
move.
Layup. Nice move once again from Anton Strelnikov. He's up to 14 points.
Connor, Strelnikov's got some twinkle toes, huh, with the little spin move. Perfect touch off the glass, and yeah, kind of like you said, he's very effective as a big man.
3-ball for A.J. Levine. This one's long. Waltz can't get the rebound, and it looked like it could have been last touched by Lake Zurich. However, they call it out on Waltz, and that's going to go to the Bears.
I'd like to see the Dukes bring some more pressure out here, Connor, because we know their ball press when they use it as a press.
And there's another open 3 for Ryan Carroll, and that's going to force Coach Dunn to use a timeout as Lake Zurich has a 6-point lead over the Dukes.
As I was saying, though, Connor, I'd like to see them come out with some more pressure if they want to give themselves a good chance to win, because we know they're very effective when they come out in that press, and that will lead to some momentum. And if it doesn't work, all you have to do is pull it back. And I get that a lot of guys are gassed, but that's why the Dukes play such a big rotation. And I think you just have to take advantage of that. And then please close out on the 3-ball. Just, you got to make sure they're always going to be swinging the ball and looking for the extra pass, looking for that open man, because the Bears have been so great at making that extra pass all game. And you just have to be ready and ready to close out and force to at least get some kind of pressure on those 3-point attempts, Connor.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've got a lot to talk about in the timeout. 41-35 your score with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the 4th quarter. What adjustments will the Dukes make? We'll find out when we come back from the timeout. You're watching York Boys Varsity Basketball live on York Sports Network. Welcome you back. 35-41. Dukes trail by 6 points. They're going to start it off. Ryan Pecco's going to take it up. Pecco's over to Bernison, who gets it stolen from him immediately, and Ryan Carroll's going to go up and lay it in. Bernison got pickpocketed from behind.
And Kretschmar does a great job of ripping it out of his hands and finishing at the rim, so it's a heads-up basketball play by him as he saw the ball loose.
Pecos tips it out, gets it back over to Richardson. Now to Mullis. Mullis to Richardson. Now to Levine. Levine in some trouble, trying to work around 3 defenders, and they're gonna call a foul on the floor. It's gonna be on Ryan Carroll.
His first team's third. York basketball at Mountain.
They get it into Pecos. Pecos over to Levine. Levine dribble drive. He finishes with the right hand. That one's gonna go in. 43-37.
There's that out-of-bounds play, Connor. They love to run a double screen for Levine, and it practically generates an open look every single time. And you see it there. He just great touch at the rim and able to get this lead back down to a 2-possession game here.
They get Crutchmark cutting, but he can't hold on, and Bernison picks it up. Now Bernison pushes it, swings it to Mullis in the corner for 3. Brendan Mullis gets it to go. It's a big-time three-pointer from BMO, 43-40.
Come on, man. BMO knocks it down. He's up to 9 points now, and Dukes are starting to get more guys involved, Connor. That's one of the things that they had to do to keep this game close with a very good Bears team. It can't just be all Levine, as I talked about. And now you're starting to see other guys come out of their shell on the scoring side of the ball.
Absolutely. 2 minutes, 12 seconds, and AJ Levine picks up his second foul, York's third. They get it down low, and that's another basket for Anton Strelnikov. He had Bernie jumping over him, and he lays it in with the left to finish the job. He's up to 16 points. And Strelnikov with a mixture of 3-pointers from Lake Zurich. That's a big reason why they were able to take the lead. Now over to Mullis. Mullis at the free throw line. Gets it over to Levine. Levine. This one's going to be an air ball. He was looking for a foul. Can't get it. Now he's got to get down as they get it over to Ryan Carroll. He kicks it. There's a wide open 3. This one's not going to go. Pecos got there just in time to maybe throw him off of his rhythm. And now Mullis over to Richardson. Richardson goes up, gets fouled, and it's an and 1 for Braden Richardson.
Wow, what a find from Mullis. So he goes in transition, eventually slows it down. Then he sees Richardson trailing, makes a great pass, and then Richardson finishing through contact. And there it is, another guy that's contributing to this run, Connor. Now the lead is down to 3 and possibly 2 with a made free throw.
Pecos and Mullis are going to get some rest. Checking in is Nick Desano and Kyle Waltz back in the game. Richardson can't complete the and 1. It's rebounded by Strelnikov. So it stays a 3-point game. This is a bad pass, but who's going to get there? Richardson fighting, and this one's going to be out of bounds. Oh, I say it was last touched by York. Oh, wow, it looked like Peterson.
That's not his call, Connor. That's the sideline referee's call, the baseline. Coach Dunn's trying to tell him that that's not his call.
Wow. Not only is it not his call, I don't think it was.
That was not even close.
No. And they talk it over and the call stands. Wow.
Where's Ryan Wells, our instant replay guy, at when we need him, Connor?
Strelnikov goes up and he gets it to go. He's up to 18 points. The Dukes with no answer for him. And now it's a 2-possession game once again.
Connor, in my opinion, I just feel like the Bears are taking advantage of every little thing that's gone their way.
Absolutely. You get lucky on a 50-50 call, and now you capitalize. But they get it to Bernison for 3. He capitalizes on his opportunity. Max Bernison knocks it down, and we've got ourselves a 2-point game.
Here comes the Dukes, and Connor, I'm not sure that the Bears are going to be able to hang on to the lead this long if this is the pace that the Dukes keep playing on offense, just moving the ball great.
Absolutely, and they're able to speed it up and slow it down. This is a reason why they've been so successful, is they play the game at their pace for majority of the game. The only times we've seen them take some bad losses when they were out of their comfort zone, and that's what teams have to do, but that's easier said than done, Christian. And right now, the Dukes playing at the pace they want to, but they still trail by 2.
Yeah, it's kind of talk about a successful season. If the Dukes can find a way to win this game, they'll be up to 20 wins on the season.
Layup couldn't go, and this one's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay with Lake Zurich. It's going to be last touched by A.J. Levine. They had Haynes, who caught the ball after Strelnikov got it poked out from down low on the basket. And there's 3.8 seconds left in this third quarter. They get it. Kirschmetter can't knock it down. This one's just going to bounce around. And that's the end of the third quarter. 47-45. This game is just as close as it was at halftime.
It is, Connor.
And we've got ourselves an exciting one here in the Campbell Gym. Both teams going to talk it over. York got a little bit of catching up to do. Lake Zurich trying to put it away. 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. You're watching boys varsity basketball here on York Sports Network. We welcome you back. Start of the fourth quarter, 47-45 in favor of the Lake Zurich Bears. Dukes trailing by 2. Here's a wide open 3. That's not going to go. Levine fighting for it, has it, kicks it over to Mullins. Brendan Mullins lays it in, and we're tied.
Another
Just
heads-up
like
play,
that.
Connor. Great pass, and of course, Bimo's there for the finish, and he's now at 11 into double digits. Oh no, they left him open in the corner, Connor.
Kirschmar for a second time. He can't capitalize once again. And that's 3 wide open corner 3 misses for Kane Kirschmar in the last 5 possessions. Levine, step back 3, can't get it to go. Nice rebound by Pecos over to Mullis. Now down low to Richardson. Richardson just gives it back to Pecos and the offense resets. Don't want to force any shots with a tie game. Richardson over to Levine. Levine over to Pecos, who just dumps it off to Mullis. Mullis now to Richardson. They had Waltz cutting, but he was nicely defended. Now Levine in some trouble. Oh, that's going to be a double dribble.
Oh, Connor, I don't know.
Oh.
Do you think he did it, Connor?
I think that's a double dribble, Christian, but he was just holding on to it for so long that it's easy to forget about that, especially when you don't think you're the one who, it wasn't a double dribble, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's going to be a turnover.
And that's not the turnover we're looking for here, Connor. Tie game, coming back from behind almost the whole second half so far, and you got just a possession you have to have, Connor.
Absolutely. They go down low, nice cut, but they can't go. But they call a foul, and that's going to be 2 shots for Connor Strauss.
Your foul number 12, Brendan Mullis, his second team's first.
It's going to be number 2 on Mullis.
20, Connor Strauss.
These are big free throws, Connor. The Bears could really use these to get that lead back.
First one rolls in. So it's a 1-point lead. He's trying to make it 2. We're back to the starting 5 being out there for York. Strauss goes 2 for 2 at the line, so the Bears regain a 2-point lead. They go down low. Levine working, gets fouled. Oh, can't get the and one. But A.J. Levine's heading to the line, and Coach Coughlin's not happy about that foul call.
I mean, I wouldn't be either, Connor, but I feel like at this point, I feel like the Lake Zurich Bears have pretty much gotten everything to go their way when it comes to those kind of calls. I feel like this whole second half, Connor, from what I've seen.
Levine knocks down the first one. Yeah, I couldn't tell if Coach Coggin was mad that the refs called a foul or more with his player, because it looked like there was enough contact where I could see you calling a foul. Maybe it was like, don't reach in when he's stepping back. I think that was his message to his player. Levine goes 2 for 2 at the line. We're back at 49 apiece. Carroll over to Haynes. On a Popovich. Haynes over to the other corner, now just dumps it off to Carroll.
That's
Here's
deep.
a deep three. That's knocked down, knocked down. Nick Popovich steps into it and knocks down an NBA range three-pointer.
And Connor, that's one of those guys you just cannot leave open. He's just been too good. He's only knocked down 2 threes in this game, but they keep going him for a reason, and that's because he can shoot the ball.
Levine finishes nicely under the basket, but quite a bit of contact. Wanted the foul, couldn't get it. Popovich over to Haynes. Haynes with the long pass to Carroll. Carroll's gonna shoot it. He can't connect, and this one's gonna be a foul on Lake Zurich, and then this one's gonna go to the Dukes.
And that's on Popovich. That's his 4th foul. Is that his 5th?
That's his fifth.
So
he just fouled out.
So he's gone.
Yeah, hit 2 3-pointers, but he's fouled out of the game.
Connor, arguably the biggest 3-pointer of the ball game so far. His shot.
Yeah, absolutely, Christian. And that, only had 6 points, but you never want to see one of your starters exit the game and there's going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to be, actually, it could be on a lot of people, but they call it on Ryan Carroll. About 3 people you could have charged the foul with, but they give Carroll only a 2nd foul.
This is really starting to give me Hinsdale Central versus York vibes game from last night, Connor. Both teams just barely hanging on to the lead, going back and forth.
Came down to the wire.
The Dukes are just so due to get the lead back here.
Beating underneath Mullis. Over to Levine now to Waltz. Waltz driving, gets blocked by Haynes. Like you said with the Hinsdale Central game, Christian, York ended up winning by 6 points. However, it really felt closer than that, especially with how the game went, and Brennan Mullis was able to dunk it in towards the end of the game. It was basically over, but that dunk sealed the fate. Now they get it down to Pecos. Pecos goes up. Pecos lays it in. Ryan Pecos gives the Dukes the lead.
Yeah, and that's a great find. And Pecos is just there for the finish, and now the Dukes have that lead. We'll see if they can build some momentum on that play and continue to force this Lake Zurich team to make turnovers, and hopefully the Dukes can turn those turnovers into points.
Dukes are suffocating Kane and Kretschmar at the top of the key, and Lake Zurich is forced to take a timeout. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter, I should say. 53-52. Dukes regain the lead, but this one's neck and neck. You're watching York Dukes varsity basketball live on York Sports Network.
I'm sorry, I thought you turned them on.
We welcome you back from the timeout. 3 minutes and 57 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. 53-52 your score, and this is another tight game. AJ Levine leading the way for the Dukes with 17 points. Anton Strelnikov for the Lake Zurich Bears leading the way with 18 points, but he's been quiet so far in these last couple of minutes. Here's a three-pointer. That's good. 2-point lead for Lake Zurich once again. It's going to be Connor Strauss with that three ball.
Connor, they got to close out on those three-point looks or they have no shot at beating this Lake Zurich team because they are hot, Connor. They are not missing those open looks right now.
Levine tried forcing up a shot, gets shoved to the ground, no foul called, and now Lake Zurich has numbers. They're going to push it. Here's Haynes for an open three. This one's an air ball. Who's got it? It is Anton Strelnikov who lays it in, and now it's a 4-point lead for Lake Zurich.
This is a must-have basket situation as Mullis goes.
Yeah, they're going to call it a foul, but it's going to be on the floor.
Connor, I can't name any. If there's a time for the Dukes to get a basket, it has to be now, Connor. I mean,
this is a must-score possession, Christian.
The time is starting to run.
Yeah, and especially you have to keep up the pace, especially if Lake Zurich's starting to get hot. They kick it in the Mullis right away. Nice court vision by AJ Levine. Quick little dump pass, and Mullis finishes at the rim. Brendan Mullis up to 13 points. Him and Levine combined for 30. They were having an excellent game. Now Lake Zurich starting to slow it down. And this one's going to be a kick ball off of AJ Levine.
Dukes would really love a stop here, Connor, and a chance to tie this ball game up or possibly take the lead. And boy, would that bring this gym alive. Dukes could really use some momentum right now.
They go underneath. Nice finish from Strelnikov. He's up to 22 points, and right as we mentioned him, hitting a little bit of a cold streak, he heats right back up. Mullis, deep three. Mullis knocks it down.
Bang, bang, bang.
Brendan Mullis makes it a 1-point game. And that could be huge. York needs a defensive stop. They absolutely cannot give up a three. Get it down low, and they go up. Oh, there's a foul call.
Seriously?
That's going to be on Kyle Waltz. He hit the hand of Connor Strauss.
Not sure about that one, Connor. Once again, another little
Crowd
call
does not like it.
that could have gone either way. Crowd doesn't like it, obviously, home fans, but just another one of those calls where it could have gone either way, and Lake Zurich has done an excellent job of taking advantage of those little opportunities and turning those into points.
Yeah, there's been a lot of 50-50 calls, and Lake Zurich has won almost every single one of them, Christian. But here's the thing, when you get those calls, the big thing is capitalizing off of them, and Lake Zurich has done just that. They've done a great job so far, and that's a big reason why they're playing the way they are.
Absolutely, Connor. With that, I'm going to take a little commercial timeout here.
If only we had commercials.
Sponsor us, please.
Please,
But,
Mr. Brendan Chambers at York High School, please sponsor us.
don't go anywhere. You're watching York Sports Network.
We welcome you back from the timeout. Both teams come out of the huddle. York trails by 1.
Lake Zurich has a 59-58 lead, and Connor Strauss is going to start it at the free throw line. He makes both of them make it a 3-point game. Gets the first one to go, extends the lead to 2 points. And, you know, Christian, even though this is a non-conference game, this is probably one of the best teams York has played so far this year. Strauss can't get the second one to go. Nice rebound by Levine, going over Strelnikov to pick up the board.
Absolutely, Connor. Both teams come in with almost an identical record. And, you know, Lake Zurich's only ranked 2 spots behind the Dukes in
Waltz
the poll.
for 3. Can't get it to go. Rebound, Strelnikov. Now they need to lock up on defense. Pecco's the only one running a full court press. He's easily the best defender on this team. They have, they had Reap in the corner, but Kirschmar thought about shooting it, and there's going to be a foul called.
Timeout.
They're looking for a foul, but I mean, Carroll called timeout before you could get before they went into the huddle, so not sure what Coach Coughlin was looking for there. 30-second timeout with just over a minute and 30 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. 60-58, Lake Zurich leads in the Dick Campbell Gym. Christian, what do the Dukes need to do?
The Dukes have got to get force this Lake Zurich team to stay out of the perimeter and force them to either take a bad shot or get inside, because the Dukes are best when defending the paint, but except for 41, you cannot leave the big fella open. He's had such a big game with 22 points, but they just got to force a bad shot and then get down the floor and possibly get a transition basket to either tie the game or take the lead, Connor.
Absolutely. Carroll gonna inbound for the Bears. And like you mentioned, this is a huge possession for both teams. York needing a huge stop. Lake Zurich, they can't score. They want to kill as much clock as possible. And there's a 5-second violation on Lake Zurich.
And there it is, Connor, the turnover I was talking about to force. They get it, and now they got to turn that into points.
Absolutely. Just need 2 points to tie it. A 3 would give them the lead. Either way, scoring here is huge. You're not sure if you'll get an opportunity like this again. Levine goes up. AJ Levine gets it to go. He's up to 19 points, and we're tied.
Levine is just so good at the rim, Connor. Great touch at the basket.
They go down low. Kirchmar, he airballs, but Anton Strelnikov jumps up and gets it to go. Less than a minute in regulation, 62-60. AJ Levine has it. Levine pulls up. Levine can't get it to go, and they're gonna call an on the floor foul. It's gonna be on Braden Richardson.
Not sure that was the look, Connor, for Levine. He forced that jumper. Sure, they could have gotten a better look at the rim, but they practically took any time off the clock on that possession, so certainly wouldn't count them out yet.
Yeah, they had someone open down. Now they're pushing it, and wide open under the basket. And this is, it's a turnover. Richardson picks it up. Nice job by Pecos to knock it loose. And this game feels like it's never going to end. Levine goes up. Levine gets it to go. AJ Levine lays it in. We're tied with 23 seconds, but it's not over yet.
Here comes Duke faithful. The crowd is starting to get into it, and they would love a stop here.
Absolutely. Lake Zurich going to try and hold the last shot. There's a foul on the floor. It's not going to send them to the line, but that's going to be the 4th team foul on York. And Christian, my goodness. Braden Richardson's 4th foul, so he's got to be careful too, especially if this score holds and you go to overtime. You're going to need him to play for almost the entire period. And there's going to be a timeout called, and I think in this timeout, you're really just thinking about, you know, what are you talking about? I think if you're York, what you're talking about is pretty simple. You can't give them any open shots. You have to clog the paint when they're looking down low for Strelnikov, as well as you need to plug the corners because you've been giving them plenty of open shots, and I think that's a big thing. If you're Lake Zurich, you want to keep doing what you've been doing offensively. You want it to remain the type of offense where you're finding the open person pretty consistently like they have been doing, but there's 12.2 seconds. So if you have the open shot, I think you would take the open shot if you get it early enough, even if that means giving York some time to score, because I really don't think it matters, Christian. If you have the open shot, you're going to take it. But if they're really not giving you anything, you don't want to force a shot if you're Lake Zurich. I think that's the key in this what could be final possession of regulation.
Absolutely, Connor. I just don't think if you get an open look, you got to settle for it. You can't. This is the time of the game where whatever you take what you can get, and we'll see what goes on here. But Dunn's going to spend a timeout, which I very much respect. I mean, he probably saw something he didn't like, and I wouldn't be surprised here if the Bears audible to something else to throw them off.
Well, Coach Dunn, he's got 2 more timeouts after the one he just used. So
Ice
I mean,
the
take
kicker.
it. Yeah, no, but it is. I mean, take as much time as you want to perfect what you think is the perfect game plan. But you know, we're gonna step away for a moment here. 62-62, and this is an exciting game on a Saturday afternoon. You're watching York Boys Varsity Basketball live on York Sports Network. Lake Zurich with the ball under the basket. 12.2 seconds, here we go. And they're gonna have to call a timeout. That's their final timeout. Carroll calls it. Had no one open. 30-second timeout. And it's been a lot of waiting, a lot of anticipating.
Absolutely, Connor. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Dunn came out with another timeout, quite honestly. Just to throw him off once again. I mean, might as well spend it before if this game possibly goes to overtime, you know?
Absolutely. 62-62 the score. 12.2 seconds left to go, and both teams come out of the huddle. And we're going to see what Lake Zurich has and what York has to stop them. Coach Dunn has done an excellent job kind of turning a slow start to his York coaching career in these first 2 years, but he's done an excellent job his 3rd year. And Coach Dunn's gonna call a timeout.
Called it.
Yep. And I think this is the last timeout you call, Christian. I think this is the last timeout you call. You don't use another one, because if they miss, you want to call a timeout instantly as soon as you get the rebound. You just love to have that advantage. You kind of force Lake Forest to do the same thing, you know? You were plugging all the holes, but 30 seconds, these two teams gonna go back at it. Coach Dunn just probably, actually both coaches in fact, probably just reconfirming some things.
And give me credit, I might call it again. See another timeout. I'm just kidding.
I'm saying you hold on to that, that last timeout.
Unless York gets it and then they force to stop and get it, then I wouldn't be surprised if we see.
Then they're definitely calling. Get in, Richardson, tipping it up. Who's got it? Levine has it. 8 seconds. AJ Levine gets fouled. It goes in.
He got it.
They call it no basket. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. On the floor. Wow.
Wait, no, they're saying 2 shots.
It doesn't matter. They're in the double bonus.
Oh no, and they have 6 seconds. That's honestly a good foul, Connor.
That's a great foul.
That worked out to their advantage.
Working out because you only have 2 shots. A 3 can win it.
And Lake Zurich has been on fire from 3 all game. So.
This is not over. The and one would have been huge. Levine, his first free throw is good. AJ Levine, he's up to 22. The second free throw is a must. He goes up with it. He knocks it down, and Seamus Wicklow loves it.
Gotta love it. Seamus Wicklow, one of the best to do it when it comes to leading the student section.
Absolutely. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They get it.
Travel!
Travel!
He traveled!
That's unbelievable. York's going to take it.
There's no way he walked. There's no way.
Wow. They call it travel, and York is going to win the basketball game.
The Lake Zurich fans are out of here.
And that's going to do it. No shot. York's going to win it 64-62 in one of the craziest finishes to a basketball game I think I've ever seen. Anton Strelnikov with 24 points for the Bears. It wasn't enough. They had the lead. They couldn't finish the job. And York comes back to win it. In a hard-fought game from both sides.
Absolute madness, Connor. It was a crazy game to say the least. I was only here for the second half, but Lake Zurich just couldn't stop hitting threes, and the Dukes had a hard time closing out. But it's a gritty win, 2 gritty wins in a row, and a great way to head into the rest of the weekend if you're a Duke, going 2-0 in the weekend series. So
yeah, absolutely. They go to Glen Ellen on Tuesday to play Glen Bard West.
We'll be streaming that live.
Yes, we will. 64-62 the final in the Dick Campbell Gym. Back-to-back home wins for the Dukes. Gotta feel good. With Christian McQuade, I'm Connor Choi. We'd also like to thank Ryan Byrd, Zach Homolka, Griffin Hanna, Henry Meade, Henry Borchers, Brennen Blanchett, and Jackson Rennick for all their help behind the scenes. The production would not be possible without the rest of the crew. And that is your final score from the Dick Campbell Gym. The Dukes finish on top. You were watching York Sports Network and another boys basketball varsity stream. Go Dukes.